Today in Draw My Life, the last episode of The Amazing World of Gumball. We know how much of The Amazing World of Gumball fan you are, so today we're happy to delight you with another lost episode that was recently discovered. If you want us to keep us doing stories like this, don't be a Richard and subscribe. I remember this story as if it had happened yesterday. I was living alone with my father at the time. Well, he was out on a date with someone that night. So I was home alone as usual. The good thing is that whenever my dad left, he would always order me whatever food I wanted. So there I was on the couch, chilling, eating pizza and watching TV. I don't remember at what point I fell asleep. I just remember waking up startled by the TV light going on and off as if the power was failing. There was no sign that my dad had arrived. The TV went off and the house was completely dark. It came back on and the intro to The Amazing World of Gumball started, but the music was a little bit strange. The colors were a bit pale, and the characters' expressions were as if they were terrified. In the middle of the screen, the title, The Rex, appeared. It seemed strange to me as I've never seen this title before. The episode started in the junkyard with Gumball running away. He was escaping from the sounds of heavy footsteps coming closer and closer. Gumball could be seen more scared than ever. What he had seen really frayed his nerves. He hid as he could behind some abandoned cars while gasping and trying to make as little noise as possible. After a few seconds, something hit the car. Someone had thrown Nicole, Gumball's mother, with a brutal force that nearly killed her. She had scratches on her arms and could barely breathe. She saw Gumball hiding and screamed, "Run!" As the footsteps were getting louder and louder, Gumball panicked and started to run until he heard his father from a distance, who was searching in the trash. "Gumball, look at the pretty sweater I found!" Gumball turned around to look at his father. He didn't finish looking at him when something rushed by and bit his head off. The father's body stood for a few seconds until it fell lifeless to the ground. Gumball's face turned pale. He turned around and ran as fast as possible. He managed to find a warehouse where he thought it would be a good idea to take cover. Just before he closed the doors, he heard a loud blowing sound behind him. Then he saw the bloody grin and the eyes of a dinosaur lit up. He had a wound in his right eye. It was Mr. Rex. Gumball immediately ran for his life as Mr. Rex chased him. Gumball managed to dodge Mr. Rex's attempts to eat him but lost track. He hid behind a car and looked for a way to escape from the junkyard. Looking at the exit, he saw his siblings, Darwin and Anais, crying and hiding inside a semi-crushed car. Gumball heard Mr. Rex's footsteps getting closer and closer. As Anais and Darwin tried to get out of the car, the door creaked and caught Mr. Rex's attention. The footsteps paused for a moment and sped up as if he was running towards Gumball's siblings. They ran towards the exit, but Mr. Rex was going to catch them anyway. Gumball didn't know what to do. The footsteps were getting louder and louder. The siblings were getting closer to the exit, but because of the size of Mr. Rex, Gumball knew they weren't going to make it. Mr. Rex was getting closer and closer, and the end was near for Anais and Darwin until a loud bang was heard. Mr. Rex stopped and looked all around to see where the banging was coming from. It was Gumball, hitting the car with all his strength. Anais and Darwin also took a moment to look at him and stood amazed. Mr. Rex, consumed with anger, started running towards him at full speed. Gumball looked at his siblings and with a gentle smile winked. The siblings watched the scene and they shredded at the sound of Mr. Rex's bite. They looked over in terror and managed to escape from the junkyard. Did you like this story? Let us know in the comments what other shows you'd like us to talk about. Thanks for sticking with us until the end, and don't forget to subscribe. See you later, alligator!